Welcome back to the Fanspeak Network and another episode of Sibling Showdown. Today, my brother and I are going to be drafting puppies in just 1 minute. That's right. It's Thursday. Sibling Showdown is back. And Sibling Showdown, we are going to mix up the type of drafts we do. We will do some BBMs. We will do some sprint. We will do marathon. But today we are drafting multiple puppies. Before I say hi to my brother, I got to say hi to a few people in the chat. Of course, our guy, Who Hames, our guy, Chad Candles, good to see you. Our guy, Mike Robb. Let's LFG drafting with the peasants and the puppy. Great to see Steve slumming it down here. Absolutely love it. Steve is quite in the puppies, or you've been doing more slow puppies though, right?
Yeah, but I've been doing some fast, as you'll get to shortly, we've been testing our rankings. So I've been doing it with that. I've been jumping in some other streams, like with people like Who Hames and Candyman and all these other guys. So it's been good. I think I've done, like, between the fast and the slow, I've probably done like 25 puppies so far, maybe 30.
And we do have big news to talk about. We're going to pull over our new Best Ball subscription, talk about that in a minute. I want to tweet this out though, Steve. So while I'm doing that, talk about like how you're diversifying early before the schedule comes out 1 week from tonight, right? Do I have that right?
I think it's next Wednesday.
Okay, so less 6 days away where we're until the schedule. So I know you're probably waiting to do a little more of the other marathon, sprint, eliminator till then. What have you been doing the most now? I'll tweet it and then we'll get to some more chat and then we'll get to our news about the Best Ball subscription.
Yeah, so I'm going to be doing marathon, sprint, weekly winners, even some eliminator for sure. But for those, I basically waited until the schedule comes out because I think you get the most value in those tournaments. I've been focused on the Schnauzer and the puppies. Maxing the Schnauzer, going to do a bunch of puppies. I don't know how many I'll get to, but the reason I'm not as worried with that is, the Schnauzer is going to have like 60-70% filled before the schedule comes out. The puppy maybe 50%. So, it's not as big of an issue if, I don't get as many perfect teams built around the schedule and buys and things of that nature. So that's why I've been focused on those right now. But yeah, I'm going to be doing everything, and even I've done, I think 4 or 5 BBMs so far. And we'll of course do more once schedule comes out.
Yeah, absolutely. So again, 6 days away, we'll do something for the schedule release, of course. There's going to be live draft shows here every single weekday. Tons of content, other things on the channel, like, of course, short strategy shows, longer strategy shows, shorts. But we're going to make sure moving forward live draft shows, and we'll cover Draftkings, of course, on Tuesdays with Spread and Tyler. We'll mix in drafters drafts. We'll do all sorts of different underdog contests, BBM, now, especially once we have a schedule, sprint, marathon. And then, of course, as the different dog breeds come up, we'll be doing more of those too. So a little something for everybody. Jamie, what's up to our guy, Jamie? Good to see you. I like the puppies, especially in the WWE Attitude Era. Sorry. Weil said 25 puppies deep. Let's keep going. Love it. Hopefully you could join us here in a minute. Let me say hi to and we're going to talk about this in a minute, but we've got Wiles in here who's joined Andrew and Justin before, but always good to see him. He was a BBM finalist last year. Always fun to mix and mingle with the BBM finalists. Stephen WC says, good evening. Got my subscription. He was one of the winners of our 500 sub giveaway. So to tease that, our Best Ball sub is live, and I'm going to be pulling that over in 1 minute. What's up, Putt Daddy? Again, Jamie. And then, so now that we are caught up with the chat, and first of all, thank you very much for being in chat. We will just talk about this new Best Ball subscription for a few minutes, and then we are going to jump in our first puppy. If we hit 25 likes, we'll do a second puppy. So help us get to that like goal. And of course, if you haven't subscribed to the Fanspeak Network, subscribe, tell a friend. We're on our way to 1K subs. When we get 1K, we'll do a 24-hour live stream. So lots of fun things coming your way. Jamie got his subscription too. So subscriptions were emailed to the people that won them during the 500 sub show that we gave out, $500 of giveaways. So that's the big news, is that the Best Ball subscription is live. And what all it includes is, we think, things that are really going to be useful to you. First of all, of course, most importantly, we have the Best Ball rankings, and this is only available to subscribers. The 2025 season rankings, meaning the classic type contests, are live for both Steve and I. But Steve will soon be releasing his Draftkings rankings, his drafters rankings. I'll be doing marathon and sprint rankings, and Steve will probably be doing an eliminator ranking. So not only do we have classic rankings, but we have rankings for the different, obviously Draftkings and drafters, but the different styles of contests on Underdog too. And I think that's really important, right, Steve?
Yeah, no. And right now, particularly if you go into the marathon, sprint, or even eliminator, just because so few drafts are done, the ADPs are already very off.
Yeah.
And that will change and somewhat normalize once people start doing them more after the schedule release. But they are very different tournaments. Like the value and impact of certain positions is greater depending on the tournament. We were both on Candyman's stream doing an eliminator last Friday.
That's right. What's up, Candyman? There he is.
And we talked about how, we want to prioritize running backs even more with that, because the consistency in scoring in that is supreme. And also, eliminator, another thing you are going to prioritize is, you want more certain situations, like these, like mixed backfields.
Is important too. Yeah,
exactly. These mixed backfields are a lot more questionable, because even if you're right at the end of the year, a perfect example last year is Chase Brown and Zach Moss. Chase Brown did not do much the first couple of weeks. It was the Zach Moss show. Same with Devin Singletary and Tyron Tracy. Tyron Tracy was the guy you wanted in, end of the year, but he was terrible the first couple of weeks. So those are the types of things you want to get the right kind of guys to supplement your lineup. And same with all these types of tournaments. So we'll be diving into all of them.
That's why it's so important. They are not the same as you see when you log on and look at it. Whether you're drafting the contest or looking at the rankings, they aren't the same rankings. They shouldn't be the same rankings, to Steve's point. And Steve and I will make sure we adapt the rankings to what we feel is most optimal in those contests. So again, this Best Ball subscription that launched today is $34.99 for an entire year. You could do $10 a month, but $34.99 for an entire year. So you sign up today, you have it till next May 8th. So entire year of rankings, again, that will update weekly now, but of course more often as preseason and training camp and preseason starts. Then you have all these articles. As you can see, Steve has his tight end rookie rankings and Outlook article, his quarterback rookie rankings and Outlook article. We did a George Pickens article, obviously, and the impacts of that, who's up, who's down. And then obviously we're going to be adding running back, receiver next week for Steve, from Steve to complete Steve's rookie rankings. And we will be posting 3 to 4 articles a week from Steve and I. And these rankings, or excuse me, these articles, I have a link on here, but I might have to pull it up too. Honestly, we did these for free on Fanspeak last year. All these articles, 3 to 4 articles a week from both of us. They're strategy articles, player takes articles, playoff, articles for the different format types, contest types. We did these last year, and it's why Steve and I had a very successful season. 25 to 33% advance rate between the two of us. Obviously, Steve had 16 total finals appearances. I made the Bulldog finals and placed 5th. Steve placed 4th in the big board, had a big eliminator sweat as well. So honestly, all the things we wrote about, not just rankings and not just talking on shows, what we wrote about were the reasons we had a great season. And that will all be here, 3 to 4 articles a week here in the Best Ball subscription. And then finally, we're going to have, there's nothing here yet, but this will be a hub for subscriber only shows. We hope you're subscribed to the Fanspeak Network. And again, we're going to have live shows every single weekday. Tons of other content, including strategy shows and fun content. We're bringing back Best Ball Jeopardy soon, hopefully. That'll be here on the Fanspeak Network, but there's going to be a lot of other sub-only shows, Q&As, interviews with Best Ball, people in the Best Ball industry, maybe some interactive contests and things like that, that are going to be only for subs and subs eyes only, and that there'll be private links here on this subscription. So again, rankings of all types and contests, articles, and sub-only shows, $34.99. The link is in the description of this YouTube show, and will be in every single link of every single description of every YouTube show on the channel. You can always find it there. Any other things I'm missing, Steve, before we do get to the chat and get to a draft, of course?
No, I think you summed it up perfectly. This is something we've been working on, and like you said, we did this kind of stuff last year. We're just going to do more of it now, and we've seen the results the last 2 years with very strong advance rates. I've been in at least one finals every season in the last 3 years. You were in the Best Ball Mania finals 2 years ago.
Yeah.
So we just had a lot of success in a lot of variety of different tournaments, and we're just trying to build and grow on that, and build bigger part of this great best ball community.
Absolutely. And speaking of the best ball community, Fantasy Football Garage is in the chat. After we rip hopefully 2 puppies, if we get enough likes, you were hoping to jump on his channel later, correct?
Yep.
Okay,
Yeah,
awesome. Just want to mention that. Obviously, there's, so many, yeah, I was going to say there's so many great, streamers that join us in shows like Who Hames, Chad Candles, Fantasy Football Garage are in this particular stream right now. So again, we appreciate you chatting with us. We appreciate you hopefully soon drafting with us. And we appreciate any support on the channel and the Best Ball subscription. But yes, look for Steve is going to jump on with Candyman here later this evening. Steven says, I hope you all will do this, but I'd like to hear some more Eliminator strategies. The Eliminator that Steve plays high in was obviously different than this year, but we are going to dig deep and put out articles for the Best Ball subscription on Eliminator. Obviously shows, maybe we'll do some sub-only shows for that. So definitely we will be covering that. We got Hartman in chat. Good to see you. GM, the disbanded brotherhood . Always good to see that. Jeff says, thou has not lived unless you've drafted Cam Scatterboot 20 picks past ADP. William Shakespeare.
He was a visionary.
Absolutely. Appreciate that, Candyman. I appreciate that. Yeah, it was a fun best ball season. We're looking to run it back, and we want you to join the best ball family here with our best ball subscription. So links on Twitter, links in Pat's the Pounders Discord is linked also in the best ball subscription, and of course on all these YouTube shows. Always good to see you, Chiodo Fantasy as well. Steve, any other thoughts before I pull in a puppy?
No, let's get it going, and we'll talk about, I'm sure ADP and stuff as we get through it.
I say we challenge ourselves tonight. Let's try for the 20-second clocks, because, if we want to do true drafts, it'll keep it fun, keep it lively. So what do you say?
Yeah, let's do it.
It's a challenge streaming, no doubt, but why not? Let's give it a try. So it could be a total disaster, but we're gonna try. So I'm pulling it up on my phone, and I'll count it down in 1 second. Again, this is the 20-second puppy. So 20-second puppy. I'm entering in. If you want to join us in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, enter. And there's 9 more to start. So hopefully the 20-second rooms are fill quicker. So there's already
pretty quick.
There's already 6 more to start. So 6 more to start. If you want to join us in a 20-second puppy, I will pull it over now. Let me see here. All right. Got a couple slows going. I did a marathon and a sprint slow, but let's get this puppy. Okay, we're still waiting on 6. So if you want to join us in the puppy, again, it's the 20-second puppy clock. And again, hit that like button, because if we get 25 likes, we'll do a second 20-second puppy. And then, the disbanded brotherhood said, think fast. That's right. It's going to be think fast, not as much time to talk. So we're just going to
we're at the turn.
Oh yeah. The turn definitely helps. Definitely helps. Chad Candle says, wish I could hop into this one. Going to try for number 2. Perfect. I mean, if we get this 20-second clock filled soon, it could be in what is a 20-second clock? What do you think? It's like about 25 minutes usually?
Probably a little closer to 30, but yeah. Okay. They go pretty quick. I mean, it can depend. Some, I was in Fantasy Football Garages last night, and I jumped the gun or got in early before he started one.
That's probably who means this 30-ish. Yeah.
I was double tabling, and the first one flew.
The
one that he was in, that he and I were in, was a little slower. So I was done filled within a minute. The second one, and I was done, I don't know, 10, 12 minutes before the second one finished. So
I was gonna say you've been in a lot of like Who Hames and Fantasy Football Garage, PPR Tyler, BBG's drafts lately, right?
Yep.
Okay. I like to do 20-second watching a toddler is hard. Yes, that would be super challenging. Don't think I could.
Chad Candles did get in here.
Oh, he did get in. Okay. He says, all right, I'm going to try. I have it on auto. if I have it on auto, I'll push the plane. That's hysterical. Yeah, someone mentioned, Stephen WC said, I tried a slow one last year, drove me nuts. Steve and I, Stephen WC says no to the slows. Steve and I are actually into the slows. We did a lot of slows last year, and I feel like it's not as fun. It's not as fun, but it does let you take your time, make decisions. So obviously we do so many on stream live fast. But yeah, I that's my way of saying I totally get it, but we are kind of geeky and are going to do plenty because I'll speak for myself. My brain is old and slow, and I need to give it as much time as possible, the 8 hours if possible.
I know I'm different, but I did about 80% of my drafts last year slow. I'll probably do a little less this year, but yeah,
people seem very slow or fast. Okay, so we it's going fast already, and I'm looking, and we have Chad Candles at the 3 spot, just took Jefferson. We've got good old Mike Robb, the money 88 at the 4, just took Bijan. Wiles is in, love to see it, at 7. Hartman at 8. We're at 9. FK Coolers, good to see you at the 11 spot, and I think that is it. If I missed you, drop your handle in the chat. Stephen WC said, I found myself waking up 3 a.m. to see if it was my turn. I mean, they do pause it overnight, but I get the
Well, actually, no, they don't pause it anymore. It's just they extend the clock. It's 10 hours overnight.
Okay, that's we're on the clock. Okay, whoops. Okay, yep, already. Okay, do you want to take Genti, Nico, Amon-Ra?
Let's take Amon-Ra.
You want to just mix it up because I do have the rankings in. So
I know, but let's
per
take
ADP. Okay. I was just going to say per my rankings. So I do want to show that. Of course, we want to show while I'm on this screen, Best Ball Overlay. Use code Fanspeak to get 25% off, $10 off a month. And for just $30 a month, you can see your exposures, which I thought I was logged in and I'm not. So I will log in, best laid plan, Steve. I totally thought I was logged in. I'm not, but we'll show that. But the other thing I'm excited about is Steve and I obviously have our ranks up on our Best Ball subscription. Again, you can download the CSV files there. You can view our rankings there. My rankings are now in here. So we're working off my rankings tonight. As you can see, I do have Christian McCaffrey ranked number 12. We'll see if he falls to us. But I'm excited to, and I know you have your rankings uploaded as well. So fun to be working off our rankings now too, Steve.
Yeah. And, the way I look at rankings is I still kind of gauge where the ADP is of these guys.
Okay, but really quick on the clock, London, AJ Brown, Jonathan
London.
Taylor. Okay.
London.
I don't have much London, so.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me go back to the, the 20-second clock is fun. But when you're trying to talk, you're like, okay, I said 3 words and I feel like we need to talk about our next pick. I really, I'm excited. Our rankings are up and, available to view and download. And again, we will be updating them, weekly, for right now. And then of course, more often as things ramp up, but I'm excited that I have them in too, because like you said, you were starting to say, sorry about,
so I still gauge by ADP. I mean, in the first couple of rounds, we're not really that far off, but there are players where we're maybe 20 spots higher or lower on. And, if you see that their ADP he might be the best player, next for me, but I'm still maybe going to try and push him 2 rounds, even depending on how big the gap is between ADP and of course, how much I need the player. Right. But I just think it's a good way to kind of have an in-between of understanding where they, the consensus generally is taking them and where you view them.
Yeah.
And that way you're seeing value. I view rankings as how I believe these guys could finish kind of like, wide receiver 1 through wide receiver 30. Like just because the guy's ADP is too high, if he doesn't finish, at that rough wide receiver spot, then to me, it's not a good value.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, we're coming up soon. Let me say hi to Fantasy Sanctuary. Of course, check out Tom and Emo Cowboy over there. I'm not sure if this is Emo Cowboy, but the Emo Cowboy, Tyler, is joining me here tomorrow, I believe, 5 p.m. I have to double check that. I'll have to check my notes, but it's either 5 or 6 o'clock Eastern right here. Friends of Best Ball tomorrow. join Tyler, Emo Cowboy, and I for Friends of Best Ball, and that will be a BBM tomorrow. Just wanted to mention
And
that. Okay, go ahead.
If that's Tom, I want to say good. I hope the move went well.
Yeah.
And I've been seeing him in the drafters streets. I know that's about all he can do in the UK right now. So,
right.
But it's been good to see him in the drafters streets.
Okay, quickly.
Let's go
Adams.
Yeah.
Okay.
I like this.
Obviously, I have the quarterbacks, up a little above their ADP, but Adams. To get Adams at 33, I'm totally happy with. I'm going to keep it here, Steve. There are the quarterbacks at the top of my rankings. Of course, I've got Travis Hunter above ADP. And then I've moved Metcalf up.
Scattergood's at 50, guys.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert. No. But
so
this is what I mean.
You've seen Tom in the drafter streets? Because, he can do drafters, right? Yeah. Okay.
But this is what I mean. Like, we have the quarterbacks a little higher. And so, we'll take them a little bit maybe above ADP, but also we can gauge, maybe they'll come back to us,
So let's talk about it, since we'll be up in what will feel like 5 seconds once I queued it here. So if Lamar's there, there's an option. We could, draft Travis Hunter right around his ADP if he's there, or we could draft DK Metcalf. It's definitely way above his ADP, but it's where I have him ranked. So, and then after this, we'll talk about. So Travis Hunter does go. Do you want to go to Lamar or do a little, Pittsburgh DK Metcalf alpha?
Let's do Lamar.
Okay. For Lamar to fall to 40, that's nice. Always a nice feeling.
Getting a little value there is nice, and especially for us, it's even more value. So this is what I mean about like gauging the rankings versus ADP.
Right. Okay, so really quick, Stephen Huhaim says, I just checked everything as I went to bed, then set an alarm for 7 hours.
Exactly.
Huhaim is dedicated. I like it. I love that, Huhaim. So I'm guessing, Huhaim, that you do a good bit of slows as well. Obviously, we see you in the streaming streets too. We see you in drafts and everything, but I'm guessing you do a good amount of slows as well. To get that much volume down, you kind of have to mix in some slows. And
that's what just because I don't have it like notifications, because I'm in 30 slows on every site right now. So I just check them, I set a time to just check a bunch of them. So I don't do them like one for one every time they come up. I wait until a bunch are up and, get them all done. And then, 6 hours later, I'm checking again, etc.
Huhaim says only done like 30. Okay, he did 30 slows last year. Okay, Steve, actually, it's going to go so fast. After this pick, let's talk about the Pickens trade. We haven't talked about it yet, but after this pick, obviously, if you watch content yesterday or so far today, everybody's talking about, let's at least give our 2 cents on it. And there's an article on the Fanspeak subscription of who we raised up, who we raised down. And exactly our thoughts why, but let's talk about it. But again, this goes so fast. Let's do it after this. Huhaim says this year planning to do slows in most of the time box tourneys. Yeah, I think that's good. I mean, especially because of time box contests, sometimes you want to handle things a little different. I know we did a show about that last year. I'm sure we'll do some content on that this year as well, but whether it's like a low-owned, player or a different combination, I do think you want to be a little more thoughtful with that for sure.
Yeah. And the other thing is, and this might be one of the reasons why Huhaim's saying this, is some of those time box tournaments, they go so fast. Like when they release.
Okay, we're back on the clock. Just to let you know, 103 at top of my rank. Okay, I don't have much Chuba yet. So you want to go Chuba?
Yeah.
Okay. It's not anything weird with who we already have, right? No. Okay.
Yeah. They released the Poodle last year and it is only a 20 max, but it filled within like 48 hours, so It's like to do 20 fast is going to be next to impossible in 40, unless you're multi-tabling, and you don't necessarily want to be doing that all the time, especially the higher and higher dollar amounts.
Okay. At pick 64 coming up. So I have, and again, we will talk about it immediately after this pick, because you wait to do is strategize what we're talking about a little bit more when on these 20-second clocks. We'll talk about George Pickens, who just went to FK Coolers, like it, at 59. I had him ranked 54. So again, if he fell, I did want to have that discussion about Dallas and that. So he goes at 59. And I mean, Jawan Jennings is in my rankings here, but with a 113, I'd like to take a running back here, and I'm gathering you would too. So top of my rankings, Walker, Kamara, Caleb Johnson, David Montgomery, and Travion Henderson just went. So 18 seconds. Who do you want to get a rookie, or do you want one of
let's do another vet? Let's go another bet.
You want to go just top of the board?
Yeah, let's just go top of the board.
Okay, sounds good. So we start 1, 2, 3, Lamar, Chuba, Kenneth Walker, Amon-Ra, Drake London, and Devontae Adams. I like that start. Okay, Steve, now let's talk about it. George Pickens traded to the Cowboys, obviously, for a third, and next year, pick swap 2027. Don't care about that. We care about fantasy. I think it's kind of a win-win for a lot of parties involved, except for like the lower tier receivers in Dallas and kind of Jake Ferguson. To me, this is a huge sign that Dallas wants to throw the hell out of the ball. Their running back room stinks. Their receiver room is, one of the top ones. Obviously, it's not like Bengals level or Rams or some of those, but it's up there. It's up there as one of the top receiving rooms. I think this is a massive win for Dak. I have bumped up Pickens. I only really moved Lamb down a little bit, and I did, of course, bump up Metcalf. We can talk more detail each player, but also it is all laid out in our article on the Best Ball Subscription. But give me your thoughts.
Yeah. So first, I think the general thing is I think everyone assumes Brian Schottenheimer is just going to run the ball 40 times a game.
Yeah.
That wasn't the case last year with Dallas, and that was even with Dak injured, Cooks out a lot of the year. Just basically nobody but Lamb. And honestly, Ryan Heath pointed this out from Fantasy Points on Twitter. That was not the case in Seattle. Like, sure, Pete Carroll had his fingers on that as well, but they threw the ball above expectation more than people give them credit for. And I just think, like you said, you follow the money. They're paying Dak $55 million. They're paying Lamb a massive amount. They trade a pick and an asset for George Pickens. I think they're going to throw the ball. They just don't have the running backs to compare. We've seen this before. Dak can cook, especially when he's got multiple weapons.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, 2 years ago, he was QB4, I believe. Yeah. I absolutely. Yeah, that was a great, I did the, the tweet share of the Ryan Heath tweet. Adam Levitan talked about exactly what I just said. Hold on, let's do this pick, finish talking about, then I want to also get to the chat. We're up in one. Top of my rankings with 1, 2, 3 is Pollard, Swift, Pollard gone, Swift, Mayfield, Caleb. Don't really have any stacks there. Aaron Jones, Mooney. I don't mind taking a Swift share here if you want. I don't mind Mooney.
Aaron Jones, I would take.
6 seconds. What about Mooney? I know you're really high on him.
Let's do Mooney. Mooney.
Oh, shoot. I'm so sorry. I got Mooney. Sorry. Yeah. I was going to put Swift because I heard you say that first. Let's just stay here. I've barely taken any Swift yet. So I wouldn't mind.
And we're already in line for Michael Penix. We have both Atlanta receivers now, but here's the thing. Atlanta's a very condensed passing offense.
I didn't think about that yet.
I don't believe Ray McLeod is going to be massive in this offense. And as we've seen, Kyle Pitts just has not had that breakout yet. So I don't mind getting both of their receivers.
Right. Okay. So staying here up in one, the other ones went. So where do you want to go here? We could take like another running quarterback like Fields, who I've ranked high. We could take Cam Scatterbo.
I actually think we should take Cam Scatterbo because we didn't invest super early in running back.
Yeah.
We could use a third, and there's just a big drop off.
There's a really big drop. I was going to say, I know there's a big drop off in receiver after like 130, but to us, like looking at the running backs after Jordan Mason, that's kind of my tier break. Cause I don't mind Charbonnet, but again,
but we already have Walker.
We already have Walker. This is a huge, in my opinion, it's a lot of 1Bs, or just very questionable situations. So I like having 3 by this point, a lot. So, and then it allows us to just do 5 and that's usually.
And why I like Fields and the value at that spot, we have Lamar. We're probably looking to stack Penix. We can also stack Stafford with Adams. We have plenty of back stacking options.
Okay, let's get to the chat really quick here, Steve. So RM Covers in chat. Always good to see you. Putt Daddy says, I'm usually all over the place with streamers, but I'll be checking out the new Fanspeak sub. We appreciate that, Putt Daddy. Thank you very much. And the nice thing about the sub, I will say, priced at $34.99. It's not going to prohibit you from subscribing to your favorite, YouTube, obviously getting a YouTube membership or multiple YouTube memberships or any other site things. I think it's good. I think if last year showed anything, I wouldn't just listen to any one person. That concludes, I mean, I think nobody's always right or wrong. We believe we're way more right than wrong. But, I think last year shows like you want to kind of like get a lot of opinions, and then it's your money. Decide how you want to spend it. Decide where you want to rank them and how you want your exposures and everything after listening to stuff. So I think it's good that the price is set to where it's really not prohibitive to get other subscriptions too and support other YouTube streamers as well. So we appreciate that, Pet Daddy. We're coming up soon. And then I do want to, Stephen WC says Harvey's really moving up. He went 58 in this draft. And then we'll get back to the chat in 1 minute. We're up again here. And let's see. We are on the clock at 106. I mean, Justin Fields, huge fall based on my ranking.
Spots up ADP.
Okay. Yeah. Yes. It's only not, sorry. Based on my rankings, big fall. But do you want to take like a Fields or I mean,
let's take Fields. We could still take Penix later as a third. Especially until the bye. Every one of my drafts is going to be 3 quarterback build until we know the bye weeks.
Wow, Jordan Mason, I have ranked. I mean, again, pay attention to where ADP is, but this is right around his ADP. But he is still there. So
option.
So the other, obviously, we're still 6 picks away. So I'll queue up. The stack. It would be a little early, but I don't mind if that's.
Yeah, I don't mind. Bateman's a guy I actually feel good about. I mean, this is a former first rounder. They've always wanted to get involved. He finally stayed healthy, and it paid off. So.
Yeah. So Shaheed goes. So we took Fields, and then I went Lawrence, Shaheed. We're up in a few, and I just queued because we don't have time. I mean, you and I typically like mid to late round tight end builds. Yeah. I queued Loveland. He goes. I queued Ingram. And then I queued obviously Bateman with the stack. So we'll see what happens here. And then if not, we can pivot again, and then we'll get back to the chat. All right. So yeah, FK Coolers goes Charbonnet. I like that pick. And then one more, and we will see if we get Bateman. If not, what do you want to pivot to? Would you do Ingram, or is there any? Would you do Mims? Okay, we got it.
Let's go Bateman. Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, just a really quick 2, 3, 5 to start. Lamar, Fields, Chuba, Kenneth Walker, Cam Scatterbu, Amon-Ra, Drake London, Devontae Adams, Darnell Mooney, Bateman. Maybe those 2 Falcons stacked up will let us be able to push getting Penix. We will see. So let me bring over the board, see what's happening. Check in with chat. So RM Kever says, where should Pat Freiermuth be going now? Let me check up my rankings and see. I have him 150. So where do you have him, Steve?
I'd have to double check. I think I have him either late 150s or early 160s, kind of in that same area. I still kind of like, Ertz and a few others ahead of him. But yeah, I mean, there's no question Freiermuth, particularly if Aaron Rodgers does end up going to Pittsburgh. We saw last year he was a good, solid tight end. Another guy in the, he had similar. I think he maybe finished as tight end 12 or 13 overall. He had similar targets, catches, and yards as guys like Zach Ertz. Ertz just had more touchdowns. But, with no Pickens and just DK there, I think Freiermuth could be the number 2 in that offense. He's shown that before.
Yeah, Wiles says Dallas sucks. So, we're Washington fans. Wiles is a Philly fan. But yeah, listen, follow the money. Both my finals, my BBM3 and my Bulldog finals, Dak team, Dak was obviously injured this year for it, but still got it through to the finals. So if Dak makes me money, I don't care, but that's hilarious. Meg just wants the big Penix stack, like hysterical Mike Robb. And then, of course, what a big shocker that we got Scatterbu. Let's see, Stephen WC. First time that they've taken him for the evening, for the evening.
That's true.
MDS appreciates our friends' references. I can't do a good Joey impression. Can you do a good Joey impression, Steve?
How you doing?
Nice. I like it. Okay, let's get back to our draft, and then we will get back to the chat. We are on the clock at 1. I don't know if Penix is even still there. Okay. Wow. Big Tyler Warren fall.
Let's take Warren.
Because we don't have a tight end yet. So,
yeah.
So, I mean, he only fell 7 picks past. I mean, you wrote it up in the tight end article today. I'm still bullish on Shane Steichen being able to use them creatively, even though their quarterbacks stink, is kind of where I land on him. So that's why it was good value. That was a good value pick based off my rankings. And he did fall 7 picks past ADP. So 2, 3, 5. Go ahead.
There's just a little bit more like buzz beat reporters talking about, Daniel Jones is going to get a real chance here. And that's good for all the pass catchers in Indy. Daniel Jones is not good, but he is far superior as a thrower than what we saw from Anthony Richardson so far in his career. Could that change? Maybe, but
we're up in 2. So I queued likely or Penix. I doubt it'll come back to us. So do we want to take him? I kind of lean toward taking a 4th running back that I feel good about, and I feel much better about Rachaad White than I do some of these other guys. And then of course we have likely. Don't feel like you have to force stacks with Lamar, but what do you want to do? 10 seconds.
Let's take Rachaad White.
Okay.
I like
it's a 4 solid running back. Yeah. So that way, sticking with 5 running backs, I feel like it's yes, Bucky is the guy. We understand that, but I feel like Rachaad White isn't just a handcuff back, and we'll see. But in my opinion,
yeah, no, I agree, and I go back. I've said this before: is for as much as people hype the Sean Tucker stuff, he really only produced in games where either Bucky or White were injured, or a blowout game, which of course that makes sense. In the playoffs, Rachaad White was the one getting the touches and the snaps. It was not Sean Tucker.
Oh, Stephen, we appreciate that. It assumes you like listen. We appreciate that you always join us in chat. So Jeff says 1 half George Pickens, 1 half Jonathan Mingo.
I think that could be Jerry Jones, but
yeah. He's an actor now. So Wiles,
Jerry Jones was good in Landman. I will say that.
Yeah, I just saw clips of it, but that was good wild. He actually seemed like he could act.
Yeah, that was, and if anyone's watched Landman, I think you'll back me up, and if you haven't, watch it.
Okay. You know me, I'm like a dork. I don't even know what streaming service is that on. I can't even keep up.
It's Paramount Plus. It's one of Taylor Sheridan shows, like it's not part of the Yellowstone, but he's the one who created all those Yellowstones.
All right. So, any other final thoughts, Steve, before we get to this next pick on like you talked about like the big win for Dak, is liking Pickens more, DK. So did I assume you bumped up Dak, Pickens, DK Metcalf, Freiermuth. Who did you bump up the most from that trade?
Well, I bumped up the most Calvin Austin and Roman Wilson because I had them as, in the 230s, 240s, not really draftable. And now I think they're very draftable. You're making a coin flip of who it's going to be. But one of them's probably going to add fantasy value this year.
Yeah, who Hames is on everybody's good list too. So, all right, we're back on the clock. And Michael Penix is there.
There you go.
So see, it worked out with the double stack.
I didn't see him go, so I thought he was still there.
153 getting him at is really nice. So 3, 5, 4, 5. You know us, we tend to value. I'll speak for myself. I tend to value tight end the least in these half-point PPR scoring. So we got 2 fun stacks in Justin Fields, and then 4 running backs: Chuba, Kenneth Walker, Scattaboo, shocker, Rachaad White, Amon-Ra, Drake London, and Darnell Mooney, Devontae Adams, Rashad Bateman. So a couple stacks there, and falling value on Tyler Warren feels really nice. We're also in a range where I love these tight ends, Steve. So 2 picks away, top of my rankings: Gesicki, Freiermuth, who we just spoke of. Didn't get Pickens, didn't get DK, but we did get, but we do have access to Freiermuth. I love Gesicki and Strange too. So what do you want to do here?
Let's take Freiermuth here.
It's at 160. I like that. I think he deserves. I mean, I've honestly seen other rankings around the industry way more aggressive than me even putting him at 150, or I think you said you have somewhere around there. So, I like getting him at 160 for sure. Let me catch up with the chat really quick. RM Covers is liking the Ramondre click. We've got Tim D in chat. Always good to see you, Tim. Let's see. Always asking who is a good late round pick. Good to have the rankings to help with everything. Yeah, no, rankings definitely help with the late round clicks for sure. All right. Mike Robb says 28 likes. He's checking in. So buckle up for that second draft. Thank you for the update, Mike. We appreciate it. And yeah, we got the Moose sighting here. Chida says, in your tight end rankings, you have Loveland or Warren first. I have Loveland, but I don't have Warren. I have Warren ranked above his ADP. Where do you have him, Steve?
Yeah, I have Loveland as well. And in the tight end write-up, I did all the rookies.
Yes.
I have Loveland as the number 1 tight end. Just the landing spot was absolutely perfect. Even with the competition, we saw 2 years ago, Ben Johnson have a rookie tight end be tight end 1. And while there was not as much receiver competition outside of Amon-Ra, they had 2 great backs, and guys like Josh Reynolds were pretty decently involved.
All right. So yeah, we are up in 3. Yeah, I brought this back over. So 3, 4, 5. I don't know if we'll get past Hartman and Wiles, but I will say if Gesicki's still there, that's a snap click, even though we still need 2 more receivers and 1 more running back. Nope, he's gone.
Yeah. But that's fine. I think we should take Mason Taylor.
Yep. I was just gonna, of course, my queuing say that next. So we get the Fields, as you mentioned, I think recently when we saw Fields definitely feed both DJ Moore and Kmet. That, what was it, 2 years ago? I guess.
Yeah. 2 years ago in Chicago. Kmet, I can't remember where he finished, but I'm pretty sure it was top 10 tight end, maybe 7th or 8th. And DJ Moore had a really good year. So Fields showed that he could handle both. And another similar situation, that the offense coordinators and position coaches come from that Detroit tree. There's every reason to believe that they're going to give Mason Taylor every opportunity to win that starting job and be a significant part of that offense.
Okay, we're up in 2. I have Darius Slayton, Calvin Austin. I kind of have read some good stuff the last few days about like the Steelers being bullish on Roman Wilson. Maybe it's like the wanting to hit it the year later when it totally didn't work for me. I think I had 20+ % Roman Wilson last year, but I don't know. With this situation, I'd either go Slayton or J.K. Dobbins here. I don't know.
Let's go Slayton. I do think we need a better 6th wide receiver.
Yeah, agree. I like Slayton. I don't understand why Wan'Dale's ranked above Slayton, especially with Russ. If Russ is a quarterback for a majority of the games, Slayton should be able to get those beautiful moon balls.
Yeah, and honestly, like all 3, like whether it's Russ, whether it's Winston, whether it's Dart, they have the big arm. They are good at throwing deep. Russ is actually the best at it. I know people want Winston to be the guy for Neighbors and Slayton, but honestly, I think Russ is going to be a really good fit for that. If you watched Neighbors last year and Slayton, deep balls were just not available. They just didn't happen between the bad offensive line and just Daniel Jones' inaccuracy. And then once Jones was gone, it got even worse for deep passing. But that's Russ's game. We saw even last year when George Pickens was out, Russ didn't care. He was throwing deep to Van Jefferson and Calvin Austin, and boy, did it not work.
That's another reason why the Calvin Austin thing, like, yes, I moved him up, but I moved like him up to like the 180s. I saw some more aggressive rankings in the industry, and I didn't push him up that far. I pushed him up to the 180s. I pushed Roman Wilson up to like 210, I think, because we still have a mystery box with Roman Wilson. We kind of know what Calvin Austin is, don't you think?
I agree. I think Calvin Austin can be a decent slot, has some speed and vertical ability, but Roman Wilson has more upside.
Right. That's what I mean.
Slot and just as maybe a second total option. And DK is handling a lot more of the vertical stuff. Roman Wilson can be that underneath middle guy. That's exactly what he was during Michigan's title championship run 2 years ago. He was JJ McCarthy's favorite outlet.
Yeah.
I mean, look, it was an injury-filled year and just didn't work out. But I think both are going to get opportunities unless they make some sort of signing or other trade. But Roman Wilson is a fair bet at this point in the 19th, 20th round.
Yeah, well, we'll be making our decisions. We'll be up here at 201, and then again with our 20th pick. Huhain said he got some Calvin Austin pre-draft, so that's really fun because I'm assuming you got him last round in the 20th round, probably. So that's awesome, Huhain. And again, remember, they said, buckle up, buckaroos, because we are doing a second draft immediately after this. We will review your teams very quickly because we appreciate you jumping in the draft. And then we'll jump into a second puppy here. We'll do another 20-second puppy to keep it lively here. Steve, we're up at 201. Calvin Austin is there. But would you rather go fifth running back and then talk
Get our running back first?
Okay, so we've got the, I know you and I have taken Justice Hill, Blake Corum, Bashad Smith is who I've topped.
Let's do Hill, especially with the correlation aspect on it.
Yeah, I like the correlation aspect too. And I am not logged into BBO. I will be for the next draft. So that way you can see my exposures. Let's see. Let me just pull up. Do you want in this time, what are we doing here? In this time box tournament, do you want to do Calvin Austin if he falls? But if he doesn't, Roman Wilson, and just stick with some Steelers correlation since we got Freiermuth?
Let's do Roman Wilson. My thought would be, especially this tournament is going to be, Puppies going to be open longer, but is very much a time box tournament. Roman Wilson's going to be 1% owned, if that. Calvin Austin, with these last couple of weeks, after the Pickens trade, is going to be owned a little bit more.
Yeah. Well, if Calvin Austin falls to us, should we just take him and then we'll because we can get Roman Wilson anytime, essentially.
Sure. But I'm saying in things like BBMs and stuff like that.
No, I know that. I'm saying how often are we going to be able to get Calvin Austin at 208? I mean, I saw some around the industry that have him in the 150s. I'm saying take out Calvin Austin. So
okay.
let's do that just because we're getting the value. But but then yes,
I use that loosely, value, but yes.
But then let's then make an active effort to get some Roman Wilson shares in, specifically the puppy. Again, time box tournament. He will be super low owned. And then we're betting on him to do what Omar Khan and another reporter, obviously the GM said it, and then the reporters were talking about in Pittsburgh that, no, they expect Roman Wilson to make a big year 2 leap.
And it is what I will say. It is notable. The Steelers kind of knew they were trading Pickens, I think, and they didn't, draft any receivers. And, sure, they maybe still could sign somebody, but I think they do have some faith in Roman Wilson.
Yeah, absolutely. Steven's right. Austin and Wilson are going to be 2 guys to watch this summer. MDS says 150 for Calvin Austin. That was another site. I don't have him at 150. I have him at 180. Where do you have Calvin Austin, Steve? I
think 190. And then I put,
I'm just saying with other rankings in the industry, they do move the market more than we do. Hopefully we move the market someday, but he's going to keep going up. So us getting him in the last round now is nice. And then we will definitely actively scoop some Roman Wilson shares. Chad Candle says, fun draft, y'all. We will go through the team super quick. Weil says, are we worried about Pittsburgh quarterback room, especially if they don't get Rodgers? My thesis is if it's not Rodgers, if Rodgers says I'm retiring, I'm married, or whatever is going on there, then I think they make a trade for Kirk Cousins. That's what I think. What do you think, Steve?
Yeah, I think that's likely. And, the guy I just mentioned, Jameis Winston, the Giants really don't have any need for him long-term. Wilson can be the guy who's keeping the seat warm for Jackson Dart, and they could just trade Jameis Winston. So we could see something like that.
Weil says, I absolutely think they're going to just pound the rock. I agree. We know Pittsburgh's so run heavy, but we're going to have so much Caleb Johnson. Absolutely. Disbanded says Austin's no longer in the clearance section. Absolutely correct on that. Whom says, all those receivers feel so bad. I mean, now, especially the receivers in the 18th round feel like barf. So if I can get Calvin Austin or Roman Wilson, even though it's in a run heavy offense. I think they could add another body. And maybe if Rodgers comes, they trade for Lazard or something like that, get his bestie or something, but it's not going to be like a major move the needle guy, right? I mean, I don't think so.
No, I mean, it's Cooper and Keenan Allen out there, and I don't know if either one would be coming with Rodgers so.
All right, let's take a look at the drafts. As Chad Candle said, fun draft, y'all. We appreciate all you guys joining us in the draft. So let's quickly go through the teams before we jump into another draft. So here it is. Quickly, I'll go through ours. 3573, Lamar, Fields, Michael Penix. Got nice value on Michael Penix too at the double stack. Chuba, Kenneth Walker, our guy Cam Scatterby, Rashad White, Justice Hill, obviously correlated as well. Amon-Ra St. Brown, Drake London, Devontae Adams, Darnell Mooney, Rashad Bateman, Darius Slayton, Calvin Austin, last pick, and then Tyler Warren, nice value there. Freiermuth, and Mason Taylor. So we have Fields stacked up with Taylor, Mooney, and London stacked up with Penix, and of course Bateman and Justice Hill stacked up with Lamar. Like it. Okay, let's go to number 3, Chad Candles, 2673. So Kyler Murray, JJ McCarthy. That's a very fun quarterback room, and get some nice value on both. Marion Hampton, David Montgomery, Shaw Tootin. I saw some good coach speak on him. Need to start drafting more of him. Benson, Giddens, Gordon. So I like that he's kind of got like kind of like a little double anchor there with like the fun rookie that everybody's talking about, and then kind of like the handcuffs. So that's fun.
Upside plays, yeah.
Absolutely. And then, so it was Kyler and JJ. So JJ stacked with JJ, Garrett Wilson, Waddle, Debo, Cooper Kupp, Jalen McMillan, Ty Felton, and then Trey McBride, obviously also stacked, Evan Ingram, and Chiga Okonkwo. I like this room a lot. I mean, I like every room, I feel like. So I like this team a lot. Good old Chad Candles in here with us. What do you think, Steve?
Yeah, no, I like the balance. You know, if as long as he doesn't have any buy issues once the schedule comes out with the 2 quarterbacks, and this team can cook for sure. So
I like this team a lot.
Because I'm pretty bullish on JJ McCarthy as well. I don't think he'll be as good as Sam Darnold or healthy Kirk Cousins, but we saw a couple years ago when Cousins was injured, Kevin O'Connell just gets production out of anyone.
Absolutely. Okay. Our guy, Mike Robb, to money 8888. We got at the 4 spot 2682, Justin Herbert, Jordan Love. Nice little double tap in that like very nice sweet spot of quarterbacks in the 7 through 13 range, right in the middle there. Got those 2. Then Bijan, Caleb Johnson. That's a really fun double anchor in my opinion. Isaiah Pacheco, Rico Dowd, Will Shipley, and Nick Chubb. Lad McConkey stacked, Terry McLaurin, Zay Flowers, Calvin Ridley, Matthew Golden stacked, Jaden Higgins, Wandale Robinson, DeAndre Hopkins, and Dalton Kincaid and Kyle Pitts. That's a fun 2682 build where he's got like really nice stacks with his quarterbacks and their wide receiver, probably wide receiver ones. Still got a nice like double anchor in my opinion, and then kind of weighted on tight ends, but going with kind of the upside shots that hopefully one or both of these guys can perform. So I like this team. Steve, what do you think?
Yeah, no, and it's like you said, the tight ends, it's 2 disappointing former first rounders, but Pitts has had the yards, just not the touchdowns, and Kincaid just needs to stay healthy. But they're 2 offenses that I like. I think Penix, and that's why we drafted Falcons, could have a really good year. And of course, Dalton Kincaid with Buffalo, that team is going to be, as Brandon Beane made very clear, they're 30 point per game scoring team. And if he's healthy, he could be a part of that.
Yeah, he didn't like those that radio show calling for a receiver, complaining about receivers. That was pretty funny. Okay, so Who Hames said JJ will have some rushing upside, which is a great point too. All these running quarterbacks that we're getting in the mid to late, like Drake May, Bryce Young, honestly, did you see that tweet from Ian Harditz about the running passing fantasy distribution? I mean, you said, and you pointed out, I think on our last show, that Bryce Young had 6 rushing touchdowns?
6 rushing touchdowns.
And JJ McCarthy's another one that's going to be later, mid to late, and is going to offer some rushing upside. Sorry, finish your Bryce Young thoughts.
Bryce Young didn't play the whole season. He played 10, 12 games, whatever it was.
Right. And 6 touchdowns. Yeah, no, that's nice. I have Bryce Young ranked much higher than ADP. And yeah, Chad Candle says, appreciate the kind review. We appreciate you. We appreciate all you joining in the chat, joining in our draft. Again, we were doing another puppy in just a couple minutes. Who Aim says he had a 2 rushing touchdown game, I believe. Yeah. Oh, that's right. Okay. So that was Mike Robb's team. Let's go to Wiles at the 7 spot, 3582. Brock Purdy, Dak Prescott, Matthew Stafford. That's a fun quarterback room, especially again, how high we are on Dak now with obviously Pickens and Lamb. Jonathan Taylor, James Cook, Najee Harris, Tajay Spears, J.K. Dobbins, CeeDee Lamb, Marvin Harrison, Jerry Jeudy, Brandon Ayuk, Luther Burden, Xavier Worthy, Tutu Atwell, Tyler Lockett, and George Kittle, and Isaiah Likely. I really like this team because, boy, that's a fun quarterback room that he has. And then, obviously, he has Purdy stacked up with Kittle and Ayuk, Lamb, Dak stacked up with Lamb. And Atwell is stacked up with Matthew Stafford. Nice double anchor with JT, James Cook, and then, kind of these, and was able to do then a 5 running back build with the other running backs. And it just has a lot of upside swings in the receiver room as well. Love this team too. Steve, thoughts?
Yeah, no. And we've talked before about, Brandon Ayuk, and that's a situation where right now, because of the injury, he's falling. And I think rightly so. And this is how you draft him. You draft him in an 8 wide receiver build, because you're going to have to get through those early games where he's not 100% or maybe doesn't play, but you're hoping you got him in that Purdy stack, in the playoffs, which could be huge. So that's what I like to see, is when you take those types of risky your players, but you take them the right way.
Right. Absolutely. No, that's a great point. Okay. We've got Hartman in the 8th spot. 3, 5, 7, 3. Jalen Hurts, Patrick Mahomes, Bryce Young, who we were just talking about. Another quarterback room that I really like there. He got Hurts at 56. So that's really nice. Alvin Kamara, Tony Pollard, Jordan Mason. I mean, to get those 3, anchored, and then still, follow up with like a falling Ramondre, Devin Neal at 200. That's really nice. So then he got Malik Neighbors, AJ Brown stacked, Rashee Rice stacked, Ted McMillan stacked. So all the, the top wide receivers stacked, Josh Downs, Keon Coleman, then Jalen Coker, and then Brenton Strange, Kate Otten, and Jatavion Sanders. Another fun build here. This is going to be a tough room to get out of, Steve, I will say. I like this, Hartman.
It definitely is. And no, I like that, 3 good quarterback and stacks, and balance, with the running backs, and even taking Neal to back up Kamara if anything happens with Kamara. I like that. So you have the Saints running back room, which Kellen Moore has shown recent years. That's pretty good. Especially
when you're getting one running back at 65 and one at the one of the last picks in the draft. That's when I like to do the handcuff.
It's also one of those things, like it's split up, so you're not investing too much overall. But because Kamara is your first back, you kind of need that Saints. You're betting on that Saints backfield, and so that's just ensuring a very good insurance policy. And I was very high on Devin Neal pre-draft, and think he will clearly take that number 2 role over Kendre Miller.
All right, let's get to the chat real quick and then go. We have one more review. FK Coolers in chat. Really quick, Tim in chat says JT showed up and ready to go in the critical weeks last year. Talks about the 49ers, such a condensed passing offense now. Absolutely like that. Wiles says, thanks, guys. Have to get off, but good luck in the second puppy. Draft the winner. Thanks, Wiles. We appreciate you. Thanks so much for jumping in. Mike Robb said he drafted the puppy winner the day we launched our product. So we'll look back on this first day fondly. Thank you. I'm glad you commemorated that, Mike Robb, by drafting the puppy winner today. Hartman says, thank you for the review. Don't usually handcuff, but Neal was such a good value. Yeah, you spoke to it perfectly. And that's like a perfect running back room to attack. And I think the way you did it, Hartman, was perfect. So love
exactly.
that.
And same thing. Like, I'm not a big handcuff guy, but when it's like that at value, and you're now ensuring that you have the Saints backfield. So as long as that backfield's good, and they drafted offensive line in the first round, I think it could be a pretty decent running attack. Yeah, I like it.
Absolutely. This is gonna be a tough room. FK Coolers from the 11th spot is the last one who drafted with us, and then we will jump into a second puppy. 2, 6, 7, 3. Josh Allen, Geno Smith, Travion Henderson, Aaron Jones, Zach Charbonnet, Travis Etienne, Javonte Williams, Marshawn Lloyd, and then Nico Collins, Xavier Worthy, George Pickens, Jaden Reed, Rashid Shaheed, Jalen Noel, Quentin Johnson, Brock Bowers, Jawan Johnson, and Tyler Higbee. So he's got the Geno, Brock Bowers, the Josh Allen. I mean, you don't need to stack Josh Allen. Honestly, we saw how much he distributes the passing game. Like, if you want to, great, but you don't have to by any means. A fun, start to the running back room with Henderson, Aaron Jones, who we talked about but didn't take. He got him at 86. Charbonnet and Etienne. I mean, those are 4 nice ones. And then, if Javonte has some solid role there, and then tax on Marshawn Lloyd. And then, a really solid, like, top 5 receivers. And then with like upside swings, I think, with like Noel and Quentin Johnson, and then, fills in the tight end room behind Bowers as well. So another fun team. What are your favorite parts about this team, Steve?
Yeah. Like you said, Allen and Geno is you nice feel good combo about going too, but I also like that Bowers was Geno, and then, you don't need to invest too much more in tight ends, but he took 2 others to just help give them those like
We
fluky
took two with
touchdowns.
the last two
Exactly.
picks. Yeah,
We
I like
didn't
that.
overly invest, and yeah, so I like that kind of build. And as we see last year, every year late round tight ends can hit in the postseason.
Oh yeah, late rounds tight ends. Zach Ertz, week 17 definitely paid off massively for us. Yes, this is 22nd, and we're doing another 22nd in just 1 minute. FK Cooler says, I don't usually stack Josh. I don't stack Josh about half the time. Totally agree. I do not force any stacks with Allen just because.
Allen.
How many rushing touchdowns did he have last year? 15?
15,
yeah,
I think.
Yeah, exactly.
Like Allen and Lamar and Hurts, like if the stack works perfectly, great, but I'm not going to force it.
All right, so let me log in on my phone. So I'll count it down in 1 minute. We got the like goal. Thank you to Mike Robb for updating us. We are drafting a second 20-second puppy. So I'm pulling it up now. And if you want to join us in another 20-second puppy or come in this 20-second puppy, I'm getting in the room in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, enter. And 7 more to start. So there's plenty of room. Nice. Actually, let me go log in. Talk about whatever you'd like, Steve. I need to log into Best Ball Overlay.
No. And, like you said, there was a lot of good fun drafts in that. And that's the thing. Especially these time box tournaments, like, I can't remember if it was FK Coolers, but I think it was a team that took guys like ETN, Javante. Honestly, now's the time in those types of tournaments. That's where you take them, make the bet on them. Because if you're wrong, everyone was wrong drafting with that information,
Exactly.
Like where if, in a BBM, if the Cowboys end up trading for somebody, or Jacksonville, like ETN's just buried and it's the Tootin Bigsby show, then that would hurt more. But in this tournament, everyone drafted the same way. So that's where I'm taking these types of guys, the Brian Robinson Jr., these types of guys who just don't feel as confident about. And I will later address them in like BBM as the summer wears on, but not right now. I'm fine taking them in these types of tournaments.
Absolutely. Okay, we are starting in. Hold on, is the time? Do I need to refresh? Yeah, 16 seconds. We are starting 16 seconds, and we have a few more people in with us. Okay, we got Tim D in the 5 spot, RM Coolers in the 6 spot, FK Coolers join us again. Love to see it in the 8 spot. We are 9 again. Were we 9 last time? I believe.
Yeah.
And then Hartman 11 and Huhames. Good to see you in this one at the 12. So we got another one with like 6 of us drafting. This is going to be fun. Good luck to all. The draft is starting. 20-second clock. It's going to be.
And if
fast.
anyone else is in, let us know.
Yes, thank you. If you are in with us, please let us know. So yeah, we are in the. What did we do in the last one, Steve? I've already forgotten. Monra. We pulled up a Monra. Yeah. Okay. Sorry, our brain just hurts from. Actually, let me refresh this page. Okay, yeah, make sure the clock is seeing it right. But yeah, we've been deep in the rankings, articles, figuring out all the Substack stuff. So my brain hurts. Sorry for any. Oh wait, let's see. We got Al Boogie. Oh, I tried to join, but I forgot I'm in New York currently. Oh, I hate that for you. So sorry. Yeah, we got let's see, Mr. My first puppy. Oh, he's in the second. Nice. Oh, good to see you. Thank you so much for joining us. My first puppy, the second hole, 2-hole. Okay, just being degen. Okay, we're on the clock. Let me pull this over, Steve.
We'll go gently this time.
Yes. Thank you. Okay.
And Al Boogie, good luck. I hope the New York thing gets fixed soon.
Oh my God, right? I mean, that's just, I feel so bad for the New Yorkers for sure. Okay, Tim, where did Bijan go? First draft, didn't expect him to fall to me. Oh, nice, Tim. That's awesome. And then, okay, we're 2 picks away, and then I'll get back to Fantasy Football Garage, who you'll be jumping on with shortly. Okay, 16. McCaffrey, Bowers just went. Henry just went. London, AJ Brown, JT at the top of my board. You want to go? We did London last time. Do you want to go? I don't know. I don't mind pulling up Lad.
Let's go AJ Brown. I don't think you have a lot of him.
No, I don't. Just because I do need to get him more in that. You and I talked about it, like when we are doing like marathon and sprints, we might be a little lower on him. And that's why there should be different rankings for each one, because it just feels like he can pop for like 1 week here, 1 week there, maybe marathon, but for the sprint, it doesn't feel like he's the type that is going to like go off, 2 out of 3 weeks. Just with the way Hurts gets touchdowns, Saquon gets touchdowns. The defense is so good. So go ahead.
Yeah, no, and I think that's a great point. And honestly, both for the marathon and definitely the sprint, because it's the chances that he's popping off all 3 weeks in the playoffs are actually kind of low, just given the way this team is utilized. Maybe some things change with this tush push and all that, but I still like AJ Brown a lot from a raw talent perspective. He is up there with anyone, but just the volume on this team is not particularly high. And even with the new offensive coordinator, it's not likely to change. In fact, Kellen Moore has been known to have one of the fastest paces. In previous stops, had been one of the more pass happy guys. Just wasn't the case with the Eagles last year because they were too damn good.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, Disbanded. I'm so sorry. I missed you when I was reading it off. DMH09. That's Disbanded in the 9 spot. So yeah, we are like.
He's in the 11 spot. We're in the 9.
Sorry, then we're in the 9. He's in 11. I apologize. Yes. So yeah, Tim D, RM covers basically from 5 to 12. Everybody but Burn 23 and OSU Missy. So yeah, 5, 6, 8, 9, 11, and 12. And I like that. Who Hames says I'm about to be held down in the corner by Hartman.
I was going to say 11's Hartman, not Disbanded.
Wait.
11.
Disbanded said, I thought he was the 9 spot, but
no, we're 9.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
I think he was saying what pick we have.
The brain is not working. I apologize. Sorry. Disbanded is not in. Hartman is in the 11th spot. I apologize about that. So, so let's catch up here. And so Bijan went what number to Bijan at 5? For Tim to get him at 5, that is really, really nice.
Yeah, and I like that double anchor. Bijan and JT. Look, you need that week 17 last year, that's for sure.
Okay, we took Devontae and Lamar last time. Do you want to pull up Hunter? Do you want to go Mike Evans? Do you want to go DK Metcalf?
Let's pull up Hunter. That's our guy.
That's our guy. Exactly. It's the 9th pick of the 3rd round. I mean, I personally, people are like, oh, he's going to be a 3-4 turn pick. I think he's honestly going to be an early 3rd round pick once camp stuff starts coming out. So we'll be back up soon. I'll leave this up, Steve. Obviously we took Lamar last time. We can take him again. There's Jaden Daniels, top of my rankings. Evans, Metcalf, Worthy, Tet, DJ Moore. What do you?
Either Worthy or Tet.
Tet just
went. Or Evans or Metcalf. Yeah, I mean, one of those 4 receivers I'd like.
Huhaim's got Tet. Hartman went to Hall. Huhaim's got Tet and Lamar. Hartman got Mike Evans. Now I'm remembering who's who in the draft, and now my brain is settled in here. So we will be up in 1, and we can either take that Metcalf or Worthy. One of us will fall here.
Yep.
So I'm fine with either, quite honestly. Can we go DK Metcalf just to lean into the pull him up a little bit and have some fun?
Yeah, no, I'm fine with that. And there was a question about taking the ambiguous backfields in these tournaments earlier. I think, was it Fancy Football Garage or something?
Oh, yes. Thank you. I got behind when I was logging into the second puppy. I apologize about that. Yes. So in a time box, are you more willing to take those players with the ambiguous backfield? So you take that one.
Steve. Yeah. And I'm kind of touches on this already, but right. Especially right now, I won't say that I won't be taking these guys in BBMs, but I want to get more information about what Javonte's status is, what ETN status is, these types of guys. Like, for instance, in Jacksonville, I'm taking Tootin, but I'm not really taking the other 2 guys right now because I just feel a little better. Tootin will have some sort of value. Javonte probably will have some sort of value, but I just don't know if it's worth the 130-ish where he's going right now.
Right. Let me move this down a little bit here. Who says Hartman's just trolling, or excuse me, Disbanded's trolling Hartman's at 11. Yeah, it took me a while to catch on. Sorry about that, Hartman. I apologize. Yes, and I needed help realizing we ourselves were at the 9. You will be identity theft at its finest there. Steve will be joining Chris, the Candyman, on Fantasy Football Garage after we finish this 22nd puppy. This is totally, it was an absolute who's on first. Yeah, I am embarrassed. That was out of control. Again, I apologize.
I get it, not who.
Yeah. Oh my. All right. All right, we're about to be back up, Steve, at pick 57. Kind of the same range we did Kamara last time. Walker last time. Do you want to go Kamara this time? There's also Pickens there, who another, we could get the two that made the biggest noise, or do you want to go Kamara in this one?
I think we need Kamara.
Okay.
I was kind of hoping, because we've just seen Hurts sometimes slide back to this range. So I was kind of hoping he went a little earlier.
He went.
He should.
He should. No, he went at 49. We're around where I have him ranked, and like you said, that's where he should go for sure. Okay, so Hartman, Huhames are at the turn right now. Huhames goes Pickens. Had him queued up, but we could take. I was going to say. Pickens is no longer Pittsburgh. We could take what we talked about earlier. That yes, we love DK. Do we want to build like a Pittsburgh? Just run and pass with the two top options, or do you want to go?
I'd rather go Juwan
Addison or Juwan. Okay, you want to go Juwan?
Yeah.
Okay, and then there's also Rome, David Montgomery.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good going Juwan here.
Okay, I don't have a ton of Juwan, so
yeah, I think and look, Ayuk maybe fully comes back and is the guy down the stretch. We talked about that with the last draft, but I do believe they trust Juwan Jennings. He showed out for him, and I do think San Francisco's going to be throwing the ball more in general, even with the healthy Christian McCaffrey. And I think Jennings is going to be a fair value in this area.
We got Green Bean in chat. Good to see you, Green Bean. Huhaim says, I refuse to take Pickens at the 4 or 5 turn. I'll have to get some now. Got stars in chat. Always good to see you as well. We got our guy Andrew in chat. Just checking in, seeing in chat who's signed up for the Best Ball subscription. Appreciate Andrew's retweeting and sharing. Go get it now if you haven't already. Let's dominate together. Join the family. Yeah. We're one big happy Best Ball family. So I love it. Andrew, good to see you. Andrew's heading to what warm place are you heading to that I'll be super jealous of next week? Somewhere tropical, and I'm super jealous. Let's see who's scooping all the running backs. Dude is taking all the RBs. Am I missing this? How am I?
I don't see anyone who has more than 3, right?
That's what I was just trying to see.
Yeah. So far, I've definitely been in those rooms where it's like 4 straight or 5 straight. And as bullish as I am about running back, that's a little too much.
It looks like a lot of us have 2 or 3.
Yeah.
All right. So we will be back up here at 81 in a few picks. Yes, it's Bahamas. Yes, absolutely. Andrew, have a good time. Enjoy that sun. Let's see. Star says, best behavior. Okay. Tim has 4. I thought he had 3. Okay. It's 4 running backs, 2 QBs. Okay.
Yeah.
No. Okay. We're about to be on the clock. Then we'll take a look at Tim's team. See what FK Coolers does here. And then, I didn't share this tab. And then make our pick here, Steve. Yeah, damn. FK Coolers took Caleb. I was hoping he'd fall all the way back to us.
Let's take Pollard. I'm a big Pollard fan.
Okay. 024. Just wanted to double check. Do we have any stacks here? No. Where did Purdy go?
He hasn't gone yet.
Oh no. Okay. Sorry. Again, this brain is going to get some rest tonight so that I can. Okay. I queued it up for. I don't know if you want to pull them up that far or push it. Top of the board is Mooney, which we took last time. Downs, who I like because it opens up a third stack that I'm open to. Tight end. That would be early for any tight end.
Yeah.
So
I think we
Do you like I love Jordan Mason. I feel like I mean I have him ranked way above ADP, but
let's take Mooney. I think he remains one of the best values. He was last year. He's going in the 130s, 140s, and I think he still remains a great value going in 90.
All right. That was our only one that we double dipped on both drafts, right? We tried to mix it up a little bit there. So start 0, 3, 5. I like that. That feels good. Let me share the board and then check in with chat. I don't know why I was thinking about Purdy going there. So let's take a look at our guy Tim D. So he went Bijan, Jonathan Taylor, Josh Allen, James Cook. Okay, I missed. I was scrolling down. James Cook, Joe Burrow, and James Conner. And then he went Shakir, Cup. Hey, that's what I did with my Bulldog team. Went 3. Well, I went 3 in the first 5 rounds, and then I tacked on 1 in like the 9th, and then did a hyper fragile. So we'll see what build. Maybe Tim stops at 4. I'm guessing he might stop at 2 and 4, and then build it out from there with the double elite quarterback and the 4 running backs. But we will see. I was able to make up ground with my receivers by then drafting 8. And then I went super late round tight end, and it totally worked because I was able. It wasn't Jonnu in that one. Zach Ertz was the hero in the playoffs. He was fine during the season.
And I can't remember who the third was.
Yeah, it wasn't honestly anything that great. It was Conklin, Chig, and Ertz, but it was enough to like get me through. And then like they were fine in the playoffs, and Ertz like just went nuts in week 17. So. All right, so we'll be up in a couple picks because these 20-second clocks go really fast, and then I will fully catch up with chat. All right, so let's see. Purdy did go. I had him queued up, obviously.
Yeah, I thought we could get him back, but I get it.
Yeah, no, I get it. I totally get it.
That is the one tough thing with Purdy is he's got so many guys you can stack with.
Yeah,
somebody's got a potential stack option out there. It's harder to quote unquote push him.
Yes.
But, I mean, we're essentially getting him at ADP.
So Genty, Kamara, Pollard, AJ Brown, Hunter, DK Metcalf, Juwan Jennings, Mooney. We have, if you want to even us stop at 4, or if you wanted to, Loveland just went.
What's quarterback looking like?
Oh, sorry, that's my fault. Okay, so Fields, May, Goff. We don't have.
Want to do one of those, Fields or May?
Well, sorry, Steve, I messed up.
We got Jordan Mason.
You know what? Let's put the old hyperfragile to the test here.
Yeah,
we're going to have some fun. So
no, I mean, like you said, it works, and there's a cutoff after Mason. So,
we're done. We're going to do it. We haven't touched it. This is exactly what I did in the Bulldog. Then I won't touch another running back. It'll be a very late round tight end build. We'll make it up at receiver. Actually, there is that pocket. Do you want to go May now? That's why I didn't want to.
Yeah, let's do May now.
Love it. So 145. I just want to. Where's Kyle Williams going now? I'm trying to remember where. I have him ranked 120. He's going ADP was currently 123.
Yeah, so maybe he comes back, maybe he doesn't.
Yeah, maybe he might not. But
or Henry.
Yeah, we're obviously doing a late round tight end build. So, let's see here, and I think Tim has just hit receivers just right in a row there.
And double stacked Josh Allen, and as I've talked about, I was on Off the Schneid show, Cody's show, and we talked about it. The Bills pass catchers last year, Kincaid going in the 5th, you had Coleman kind of going in the 6th, 7th, and then it was Curtis Samuel above Shakir, and they were going in between the 9th and the 11th rounds. Well, you're not getting the first one until Shakir in the 7th now, and then you have Coleman going in the 10th, Kincaid going in like the 11th or 12th, and Palmer much later. So it's so much cheaper to stack with one of the top quarterbacks in the league, who I know only threw like 28 touchdowns last year, one to himself. But that's probably not going to happen again. And the other part of it is we know he could throw 35. So I just think they're actually great in best ball. Like season long, I would hate Bills receivers. But best ball, they're all going to hit 4 or 5 weeks.
Okay, I just got to make a point here. First of all, Al Boogie's reminding Andrew he can do slows while he's in the Bahamas, just helping a guy out. Hartman says, I've got the best running back in round 8. Best ball is so easy. Yep, he's got Cam Scattaboo, friends.
Yeah.
So, best ball is so easy. Yeah, you are so right, Hartman. You did get the best running back in round 8. Such an easy game. Disbanded. This game is so beatable. Good to see you, best ball guy. We got Eric and Chad. They were just you had a best ball coffee or breakfast this morning, I believe. Love it. And then I believe the Typhel Tower was just on. So good to see you,
Eric. Ton of streaming today. So
no, you've been busy, man, as he always is. He's always streaming 4 hours a day or something. So thank you for joining us, best ball guy. Okay, Kyle Williams fell back to us, Steve.
That worked out.
Love it. Okay. What else do we want to do we're up in 6 and we got our guy Hunter here, right? Yeah. Okay. So I queued up Lawrence.
Yep.
And then, we could do Penix again. Just was looking at potential stacks. Okay. Lawrence is gone. Who Hames is smart. He probably also has VTJ, I'm guessing. What do you want to do here at 136, Steve?
We could take JJ McCarthy with Mason and just kind of take all the Vikings offense, or a good chunk of the Vikings offense. Obviously, Aaron Jones is there as well. But
I love when you can get all the touchdowns on a team, basically. Yeah. Yes.
That's what do you want to do that? On. Yeah. Mason should get the majority of the rushing touchdowns, and McCarthy obviously all the passing touchdowns.
Yeah, maybe a couple running touchdowns himself.
Yeah. And some, it's one of those things. Maybe we'll throw in a Ty Felton type 18th round flyer, but
sure.
If not, as said before, Kevin O'Connell just produces good offenses. Their offensive line is the best it's been under Kevin O'Connell. They highly invested in it this offseason with multiple free agent moves and the draft. So that's why we're bullish on Mason. That's why we're still kind of bullish on McCarthy, even being essentially a rookie.
Okay, I guess there was a brutal Kyler snipe there. Who Hames says he had a hyper fragile and the Dalmatian he loved. Well, it wouldn't work with CMC, Achan, Pacheco, Daddle. That's rough. I did multiple.
Sure it looked good early on.
Yeah, well, not without CMC. That's rough.
That's what I meant. Like before the season started.
No. I did a couple with CMC Pacheco, and I was like, oh my God, this feels so good. And those teams were 12th place. But the one I had was Saquon Henry Jacobs and then some other guy. We got Fields in the last one. So missed Fields.
I mentioned him when we took Mason, but I think that's what best ball guys.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, I'm catching up on chat now. We got Fields in the first one, Eric. So and then
Eric, the Jets fan, and he's right. Fields is very exciting and interesting this year. They didn't end up drafting any competition, so it's his job.
Okay, Andrew says, can we do a giveaway? Yes, of course, I can see who signs up for the Best Ball subscription. He says, thinking next 5 people sign up entered for a Jaden Daniels card and neighbors card. We can pick 2 the next 5. Well, if you're good with that, we can absolutely do that, Andrew. So we'll have to, on your guys' next show, once you're back, maybe we can do a drawing, but we can certainly.
Yeah, absolutely.
Certainly love that, Andrew. All right, Steve, we are 1 pick away because this 20 seconds goes so fast. 153, 2460. I wouldn't hate. Do you know what I'm thinking?
I think you're thinking Bryce Young.
Yes. So, and then if your guy falls, which he usually does, then if not, there's other stack options. Yeah. Hitting 3 quarterbacks in this range and all 3 of these guys have rushing upside. What? Absolutely love this. So again, not touching. We're doing hyperfragile, not touching another running back. We got May already stacked, McCarthy stacked with Mason. We'll look for a Bryce Young stack, done at running back, done at quarterback. We already have 6 receivers we like, and it's going to be a late round tight end build. So this is fun. I like this. Oh shit, Steve, we might have to pass your guy Thielen for one of these 2 tight ends.
No, take it, Thielen. One of those guys maybe comes back.
No, they're not coming back. They're so good. Actually, you're right.
Not when you hype them up in a stream draft with 10 of our best friends.
All right, we got the Bryce Young stack. I'm bored because I wanted I wanted Gasecki
Like
or
I said
Strange.
before, Meg has the worst poker face you'll ever find.
Ever. It's so bad. It's so bad. But yes, again, Best Ball Subscription pinned in the obviously the description of the show. It's on Twitter. It's on the Pounders Discord. Check it out. We will do a drawing soon. I'll organize that and put that on Twitter. Kelly says, "I've been enjoying this while I clean. I'm glad it helps pass the time. I like to hear that." And let's see. Best Ball Guy said he did a hyper fragile day with Mason's fourth in the final RB. It does. Yeah. It feels so good to just be done. And then honestly, I've never done a hyper fragile not with a like late round tight end build. And that's where you can still feel really good about the quarterbacks. We got 3 in that range. I felt really good about I still feel really good about our receivers. And we'll draft 8. But no, I love that. I love that, Eric. That's awesome. You have to send tweet the team.
I agree. And just like we were talking about before, there's still a lot of uncertain room. So if we're getting 4 guys we feel very confident about, 3 kind of clear starters, and then Mason, who could be the touchdown hammer, and has gotten good coach speak. Yeah, I don't mind that at all.
So yeah, Huhaim said to Best Ball Guy, I honestly really like the hyper fragile this year. Feels really good with the round 1 wide receiver. That's also when it feels the best too. Yeah. I got with, and Lamb didn't even pay off in the playoffs last year. Obviously, as you know, Steve, helping me root it on, my Bulldog team on. But like Lamb, even losing Dak was still like a great wide receiver 1. Obviously, I could have had better in round 1, but even with Lamb as my wide receiver 1 in the first round last year, I loved my hyper fragile because I got running backs in 2, 3, 5, and like 8 or something like that. Yeah. And then I was just done. So yeah. All right. We're back up in a minute and then we can catch up with the chat more. There's a potential stack coming our way, potentially, if FK Coolers doesn't take it. And then, yes, we got it. Okay. So you're fine with just grabbing the got a May double stack there. Again, have McCarthy with Mason, Bryce Young with Thielen, and done at quarterback, done at running back, 1 more receiver, 2 more tight ends. Easy game.
Yeah. But no,
I mean, honestly, the hyper fragile, you just need them to stay healthy and do what they're supposed to. If they stay healthy and do what they're supposed to, which obviously Saquon, Henry, and Jacobs did last year, then you're going to be cooking. If they don't, then you're screwed. Like Huhaim said, I had some CMC, Pacheco, somebody else that just didn't work out, and those teams are going to be terrible. But if the receivers work, then all right. So we could look at our 8th receiver, but I think this is a sweet spot for tight ends coming back, Steve. So
I think if we get either one of them, Huhaim and Hartman could decide that for us. But I'm good with So we'll get one of those tight ends.
Yeah, that's great. We took Mason Taylor in the last one. I'm fine either way here.
Yeah, so. I do think Ertz is the better value, even without a stack.
Yeah, true. Good point.
Just the offense is better, but I am bullish on Mason Taylor for sure.
Ooh, I am loving this team. I'm not going to jinx it with the love it. I've labeled teams love it before, and those never work out. If you label it love it, it just that will be an
guaranteed first week 1 injury.
Oh, for sure. So I won't label it love it. All right. Okay. So Andrew, I think Huhaim said if you stay logged in, but yeah, if you log out, you will be screwed then on slows. We got good to see Best Ball on call in here. Best Ball Guy says Huhaim's exactly feeling the same. Great running back value. Yeah, that 3 through 8 round is absolutely a sweet spot. I totally agree. Okay, so Al Bogey did it in March. I think I have not been anywhere fun in a long time, so I do not know this. But from what I've seen on Twitter, you cannot log out. To
be fair, I think Andrew's wife is telling him that he cannot do Underdog.
Oh my. Okay, so they're catching up on that. Okay, next time we'll have to see what happened with Kyler, Goff, May, Herbert, every stack of obliterated. Okay, so we stole May. We did steal May.
Our bad.
But we did double stack them. So the good news is, if that makes you feel any better, Mr. Mister, we did double stack them. Huhaim says my other stacks is Dolphins and drafter 0 QBs, so you couldn't push to sometimes it is just all a matter of watching what the other people in the room are doing. Okay, we'll be up in 1, and then we will catch back up. These 20 seconds are a flying. We are back at 2:01. Do I have the right thing shared? Oh my gosh, Mason Taylor fell back.
Yeah.
Oh, to 2:01. Oh my.
Yeah, that's some good value on Taylor.
Hey, please don't let me label this team. Please don't let me label this team. I'm not even going to accuse somebody who we talked about in our last one.
Okay.
We got Pat here in chat. We got it. The Pounders Discord is linked in our Best Ball subscription, so be sure to check that out. We are still 2 picks away. Green Bean says Cam, Mooney, and the quarterbacks are really the only picks I can make in the 8th. Otherwise, I'm just reaching down for Jordan Mason. Okay, so we are on the clock, Steve. Do you want to go Calvin Austin, last pick of this draft as well? Or did you want to pull up? This is a big decision here. Or do you want to pull up Roman Wilson? Roman Wilson? Come on, quick.
Let's do Roman Wilson.
Nope.
Yeah, Calvin Austin.
You had to say it quicker.
Oh my.
Well, that was fun. I actually absolutely love this. Star says, let's catch up with chat now. Then we'll check out the teams. Then Steve is heading over to Fantasy Football Garage, so check that out there. Star says, why is Purdy still going before Dak? I actually do still have Purdy ranked above Dak. I have them both ranked way well above their ADPs. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah. So, my thought is this. I think Dak firmly is in this group with all these kind of quarterbacks. Purdy, Goff, all these kind of guys. So I think it depends your flavor. And when the Underdog guys did it and broke it down, Hayden Winks had a bunch of these guys. I think he had Dak in a separate tier, but that was obviously before the trade. And he said, honestly, it's like pick whoever you're trying to stack with. These guys are all very similar. Yeah. They all have very similar projections. And, with Purdy, I do think they're going to throw the ball more. And, whether you have Kittle, whether you have McCaffrey, Jennings, etc., like that's who you're trying to stack with. But if you're going for the Dak stack, go for the Dak stack. So that's kind of the way I look at it. In a kind of very similar vein. Okay.
No, totally agree with that. Let's catch up. You'll like this comment, Steve, who Thielen feels like cheating there. So I know you agree with that. I think I did cuss. And my middle name. Eric says JT Sanders needs to be on this team. I was going to cue him, but then your guy,
Mason Taylor.
Mason Taylor fell to us
too much value.
That was amazing. Andrew says, are you doing another draft after this? We're not. Steve is going to head over to Fantasy Football Garage. So check out Fantasy Football Garage's channel. He will be heading over there. But we are going to start to do multiple drafts each night. So we appreciate everybody in chat, everybody that joined us in the draft. We will review these teams quickly. Let's get through the chat, review the teams. Then Steve will be going over to Fantasy Football Garage. So while I'm paused, I will say again, we launched our Best Ball subscription today. It is in the description. It's on Twitter. It's in Pat's Discord. Check it out. $34.99 for the year. Rankings of all 3 websites, Drafters and Draftkings, coming soon. Multiple contest styles, Eliminator, Marathon, Sprint coming soon. Updated weekly. Articles 3 to 4 times a week. Articles are already up. And sub-only shows twice a month. We're going to have some fun ones coming your way. So check that out. Okay. Hartman says, 49ers also have super easy schedule. I saw that somewhere this year. I think, it's 6 days away schedule release. I think Fox Sports posted like easiest and hardest schedules, and 49ers was on the easiest.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do have Purdy ranked higher, but I am so bullish on Dak, especially now with the Pickens ad for sure. Huane says, I just smashed QBs. Yep. Exactly. Said it perfectly. Dak definitely not running like he used to, for sure.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
That part's unfortunate because he did used to really add. Huane said you don't need to review mine if Steve's going on another stream. And we go through them quickly. It's all good. But yeah, we appreciate, again, everybody in chat, everybody in the draft. Sibling Showdown, we're here every Thursday, but there's going to be live drafts every single day, multiple drafts every single day, plenty of strategy shows coming your way. And again, check out the Best Ball subscription. Okay, Steve, it is time to check out these teams quickly. Let's see, completed. No, what am I doing? There we go. Okay, Steve, I have to read our team one more time. I'm obsessed with this hyper fragile 3-4-8-3. I'm getting my Bulldog vibe, 5th place Bulldog vibes. Drake May, JJ McCarthy, Bryce Young, all stacked, all give you running upside. Love it. then Genty, Kamara, Pollard, Mason. Love it. Absolutely love that running back room. AJ Brown, Travis Hunter, DK Metcalf, Juwan Jennings, Darnell Mooney, Kyle Williams stacked, Thielen stacked, Calvin Austin as our last pick. So we did do 2 Pittsburgh receivers, I realized, but it's fine. But the 8 receivers, I think, again, a lot of times in the hyper fragile, the running back will hit the flex. I feel very confident that 3 receivers are going to be just fine in this room. What do you think?
Yeah, no. And, we have an 8th. I like the receivers that we got, and, Adam Thielen, look, Tet's the guy now, but Thielen has been a top 30 receiver in points per game, Bryce Young's first 2 years. So if he could produce when Bryce is bad, maybe he can still produce as the number 2 if Bryce gets good.
All right. And then we got falling value on all the tight ends. Look at this. Hunter Henry, 177 stacked with May. Zach Ertz falls to 184. Mason Taylor fell to 201. Would have considered JT Sanders part of the stack, but to get Mason Taylor 201 felt really, really nice with, again, really no weapons outside of Garrett Wilson and Brees. So love this team. But let's look at, more importantly, the other teams in this draft. So we'll go through them quickly, starting with Tim D, who also did the hyper fragile build. We talked about it. RM Covers had mentioned it, and Who Hames mentioned it. So 2, 4, 9, 3. So again, he made up for it at receiver. Allen Burrow, so did the double elite quarterback. Then Bijan, JT, James Cook, Connor. Honestly, even a stronger running back room than ours because he drafted him earlier. So he starts Shakir, but again, there's 9 receivers. So Shakir, Kupp, Jaden Higgins, Keon Coleman, Marvin Mims, Josh Palmer, Cedric Tillman, Jalen Coker, and I cannot ever pronounce this, Steve. Yoshivas. Sorry. I stink. And then Dalton Kincaid, Mike Gesicki, Jawan Johnson. So definitely a ton of stacks with Buffalo and Cincy. The only thing I'd say about Buffalo is I maybe wouldn't stack Allen up that much because I think there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 with Allen just because it is so spread out and it's needing receivers. That's it. Other than that, Tim, I absolutely love your quarterback stacks, love your running back room. And again, still a late round tight end build that I absolutely love. I mean, I love those 3. My only thing is I wouldn't do that many Buffalo receivers because, they could ping pong, but go ahead.
I will give them credit is you only do it if you're drafting like 9 because because like I said, when we talked about it earlier, they're going late, so you're getting them at value and they're all going to hit. It's just, they're not going to hit, 8 or 9 weeks. They're going to hit 3 here, 5 here. Exactly. And so you're getting with James Cook, essentially all the Buffalo offense, and double stacking it, with getting basically every pass Josh Allen throws, you're getting double counting it. So that's a great offense to do it in. And it only makes sense if you can do it at value. And I think he did it at value. You're going to need a few other things to break right for you. Some of the other receivers to help carry you in weeks where Buffalo has a bye or, maybe they have a down week or two. But I like the upside, for a big time tournament like this. If it hits right, and particularly if Buffalo and Cincy have good playoff runs, boy, Tim could be sitting pretty.
Yeah, he said, thanks. I went a little overboard in Buffalo. Josh Allen's going to rush it in anytime.
That's one risk, but
let's go through the rest of the teams quickly. Disbanded says Yoshi for short. I'm just going to do that to keep it easy. Mike says we should celebrate with launching our Best Ball subscription with a shot after the show. Steve, take 4 before hopping on your next stream. I'm sure Candyman would love that. That would be amazing. Okay, let's quickly go through the other teams here. RM Covers at the 6 spot, 2592. Mahomes, Herbert, very nice. Harvey, love that. Swift, Tootin, very fun rookies there. Rashad White, J.K. Dobbins, like that running back room. Always love the, Ladd McConkey start, Rashee Rice, and then double stacked Rice and Worthy with Mahomes. That feels nice. Adunze, Pittman, Quentin Johnson, Deontay Johnson, a little late Deontay Johnson, Amari Cooper sightings there. And then Pat Freiermuth and Tyler Conklin. My only 2 cents would be maybe do a third tight end in that room with one of the older vet receivers. But other than that, fun stacks, very correlated with Herbert and Mahomes, fun running back room, fun receiver room. That would be my only 2 cents. Your thoughts, Steve, before you go?
Yeah, basically the same thing. Like Conklin, it could be him, could be Disley, could be the rookie, could be all 3 kind of eat and nobody nobody is the guy. So in that situation, I definitely want a third tight end, but that's it. And that's so minor. Tight end is
which, by the way, Steve's rookie tight end rankings are up on the Best Ball subscription. Of course, again, link in the description. Okay, FK Coolers 3573 from the 8 spot. Caleb, Stroud, Darnold. That's a fun quarterback room. Chuba, Travion Henderson, Caleb Johnson, Trey Benson, Woody Marks. I mean, I absolutely love the 3 running backs of Chuba, Travion Henderson, Caleb Johnson, and then tacking on 2, kind of contingent value plays. And then Malik Neighbors, London, JSN, DJ Moore. That's a really strong receiver start. Rashid Shaheed, Hollywood Brown, and then Torrey Horton, a late stack with Darnold. Colston Loveland stacked up with Caleb, Brenton Strange, and Dalton Schultz stacked up with CJ Stroud. Obviously, JSN and DJ Moore were also stacked up. So very, very correlated. I really love your stacks a ton here. Like this team, Steve. What do you think?
Yeah, no, another strong team. And Caleb, I mentioned this in the tight end thing with Loveland. One thing that's really nice about him is since he's going after Caleb, he's very easy to stack with him. And, a lot of times you can get both of them in the back-to-back picks. So big fan of that kind of combo. And I know you had more as well.
Steve is going on Fantasy Football Garage. So Fantasy Football Garage on YouTube is where he's going next. Okay. Let's go. That was Tim D, arm covers. That was Coolers, right? Yes. Okay. And then we did ours, and then Hartman and Huhames. So 11 spot Hartman, 3-5-8-2, Justin Fields, Jared Goff, Geno Smith. Very nice. Breece Hall, obviously correlated with Fields, Kenneth Walker. I mean, as he said, easy game. Cam Scattaboo. There you go. We got the best running back in the draft here. Austin Eckler. Very nice. And Marshawn Lloyd, ASB, Mike Evans, Chris Olave, Luther Burden, Jack Besh, Michael Wilson, Isaac Tesla, Dontavian Wicks, Brock Bowers, David Njoku. Definitely only needed to do 2 tight ends there with Bowers. So you got Bowers and Geno and Besh stacked up, Tesla and Amon-Ra with Goff, and then Fields with Breece Hall. Yeah, I mean, very correlated.
All that offense,
Yeah, no, I like this team a lot as well. Just very nice correlation. And I mean, you got to give extra points to the Cam Scattaboo team, right, Steve?
And also Hartman, he definitely stole Eckler from Huhames on betting. So
yes. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so Fantasy Football Garage. FK Cooler says fun drafts, and thank you for the review. No, we appreciate you. Appreciate all you guys in chat and join us in drafts. This was a ton of fun tonight. Just getting started here. Just getting started. And remember, not only live drafts every day, but tomorrow, Emo Cowboy Tyler will be on with me. I mean, why can I not see on my account? Yes, 5 p.m. Eastern. 5 p.m. Eastern is when Emo Cowboy will be joining me for Friends of Basketball tomorrow, and we will be back in the BBM streets with Emo Cowboy tomorrow at 5 p.m. They're talking about the stacks. So, okay, let's go to Huhames, and then to wrap it up at the 12 spot, 2673. Lamar Lawrence. I know we had queued up Lawrence, so that was a great pick there. And Christian McCaffrey, that's awesome at the turn with Aaron Jones, Ramondre, Tyler Algier, Braylon Allen, Jalen Wright. Yeah, I figured he had BTJ, Tet, Jalen Waddle, George Pickens. And then, I still like where you got George Pickens. I think that's great to get him there. Rashad Bateman stacked up with Lamar, Pat Bryant, Keenan Allen, Jonnu Smith, Mark Andrews, and Elijah Arroyo. I think that's a fun rookie pick to take late. So obviously you have Andrews and Bateman stacked with Lamar, and BTJ stacked with Lawrence. You're anchored by McCaffrey, but then still went 6 since, you waited on Aaron Jones. I would really... again, we know Huhames is a super sharp guy, but a very, very smart and thoughtful build of kind of the price of each room. Still has like a very solid room of each room. And of course, very correlated. So we're sharp drafters here, Steve. Both puppies are going to be tough to get out of, but I like what are your thoughts on Huhames' team?
Yeah, no, I mean, another very strong draft. And it, if you watch Huhames, he drafts like this, you take the upside rookies when you feel confident about the front of your room, and that's what he does. So I try to do the same thing, and it's a good way to do it. Not all the rookies are going to hit, but when you do, you can get them at value, and I think that's what he's betting on there.
Yeah, absolutely. No, this was super fun, guys. We seriously appreciate all you guys again in chat, all you guys in both puppies today. That was a ton of fun. Steve, again, heading over to Fantasy Football Garage. If you haven't liked this already, hit the like button on the way out. If you haven't subscribed, make sure you're subscribed or tell a friend. We certainly appreciate it. And of course, check out, thank you, Pat. Good night to all. We appreciate it. Great stuff. Fun stream. We appreciate everybody. Thank you very much. And again, on Twitter, in Pat's Discord, in the link or in the description, check out our Best Ball subscription. You can, I believe, preview a free article or two, so check that out. But we really hope you can join the Best Ball family with us, just $34.99 for the year. And give us feedback. We would appreciate feedback too. So it's been fun. Steve, final thoughts for the people before you head over to Fantasy Football Garage?
No, great show. Had fun. 2 drafts, a lot of fun people, and like you said, we're going to keep going, and we're going to be doing more and more shows in the coming weeks.
Yeah, well, all summer long, live drafts every weekday, and tons of strategy shows and more. So thank you guys so much for joining us. Don't forget Emo Cowboy, Friends of Best Ball tomorrow, 5 p.m. Eastern. For Steve, I'm Meg. This has been fun, and we'll see you next time.